And that's exactly my point, bro. Shawty just got look, but she's using her looks in the wrong way. She's trying to still get a man to take care of her. But she can use those looks in so many different ways where she can generate her own funds. Start modeling.
All right, man, welcome back to another video. Hope your day's going good. In today's video, Brittany Renner is dead broke, but that's not all. Yeah, man, Brittany Renner, the saga continues, man. Not looking good. And she brought this all on herself by trying to expose PJ Washington.
Yeah, we already seen her trying to get the bread from PJ Washington. That's how we know she was broke. By the way, I seen a little article. Well, a post from one of the blogs. She's only getting $5,500 a month for child support. That's it. Sheesh.
Brittany Renner is broke and manages her money terribly.
In late September 2025, the courts decided that PJ Washington would spend $5,500 a month in child support. Now, remember, a few weeks before that,
What you chase escapes, Brittany. You chase the money, now you barely get none.
Yeah.
he signed a 4-year,
$90
million deal with the Dallas Mavericks. But this did not make Brittany Renner happy. As we know, there was a viral video that showed the explosive toxicity between the two of them. And so she did something that was interesting. She filed to request to increase the child support on October 1st, 2025 to $35,000. Now, again, I believe the $5,500 a month was awarded in Texas, but Brittany Renner lives in California. She says she is struggling to make ends meet, shopping for her kids' clothes at Target and living in a rental.
Well, it sounds like you need to move, shawty.
Boy, you don't sit your stupid ass down. Who the f you is?
She also claims she no longer has a basketball wife's checks to rely on, so the child support is her primary income. Her filings are...
Oh, how did we figure that? I don't know. It might have been something I said at the beginning of the video.
Argue that she cannot afford to provide their son the same lifestyle if she had been supported fully by his father's financial means. So while Brittany Renner may not be broke, it's true that she is trying to get more money, not for the kid, but for herself.
Damn.
Brittany Renner is even coming with receipts. Renner references social media posts, designer purchases, luxury vacations as evidence of PJ Washington's ability to pay more for child support. So she's acting like he don't have the money, but yes, she had the money. And also, original consent order was in North Carolina, actually. So filing in California shifts the focus of the states. Different states have different standards, cost of living assumptions, and legal thresholds. And of course, people are starting to weigh in on it.
Brittany Renner is asking for her child support payments from PJ Washington to go up to $35,000 after he's already been ordered to pay $5,500 a month. Now, she's saying she's not able to make ends meet and she's not able to provide a lifestyle similar to PJ Washington. And $5,500 a month is more than majority, I would say more than half of Americans are already making a year. Obviously, she probably wants to use this money to buy herself a better car that she's going to drive the kid in. She wants to buy herself a better apartment that she'll have the kid in.
This is interesting. She wants an upgrade from the money that she's getting, but this is even crazier.
Brittany Renner is broke and manages her money terribly. That's why she's in California courts asking for $35,000 from PJ Washington. That's a month, by the way. See, Brittany didn't stay in Texas. She went over to California. Why? Because Texas has a cap on how much you can get monthly. California does not. That's why the first thing gold diggers normally do after getting a baller is move to California. But here's the problem. We already know she's going to say
That is a good point, bro. I just made the point that she need to move from Cali, but we see why she moved there in the first place.
She doesn't make enough money to survive with her and the one child, and that the bills are just too high. Kind of like her, she thinks that any judge is about to give her roughly $420,000 a year. To do what? Go play in a corner while you give the rapper of the month gawk gawk?
Woo!
Damn.
Now this is the most damaging to me because, okay, weren't you just married to Kevin Gates?
Wonder
Like,
why
I mean,
she
this
did
is
that.
interesting. So you were married to Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates is a rapper. You were not really tripping off the money. Your little relationship didn't work out with him. So now your animosity is toward PJ Washington. And this is kind of what I've noticed with ex-girlfriends or baby mamas. And, you know, like I said, this is very similar to what you saw with Kayla Nicole and Travis Kelce. After they broke up, she was still trying to cash in on her connections with the Kansas City Chiefs. She was still trying to cash in on the connections with the friendships in the NFL. And she felt like she should be able to keep that even though they're not together anymore. Well, the issue is that, yeah, you're not together with him anymore and you don't offer a whole lot of value. So you're no longer his lady. And it's very different for women. Like, if they're done with you and they're broken up with you, do you get access to this? No, you don't get access to that. But for whatever reason, even though you don't get access to it, you're supposed to pay child support while you're dealing with another dude who can't give you the same thing as the first guy gave you. And so you're basically taking another guy's money and then some other dude is clapping for free. This shows the wall hitting formula. Like, Brittany Renner, you know, where's your money at, honey? Number one, you've had every opportunity to grow your own business. You get paid for podcast interviews. You have a Fashion Nova deal. All of these things you can do on your own. Like, for somebody like myself that's come up in Black YouTube, working extremely hard over the last decade, I mean, it's hard to grow like I've grown. Brittany Renner, you're actually in the industry. You could find people who will bring like podcast sets out. You would have people on your podcast. I mean, you could even have more leverage to get more shows, your own show, your own companies. These are the things available to these people, but they don't have any level of entrepreneurship mindset.
And that's exactly my point, bro. Shawty just got look, but she's using her looks in the wrong way. She's trying to still get a man to take care of her. But she can use those looks in so many different ways where she can generate her own funds, start modeling, do different things that, you know, you can generate money for yourself from your look.
So they're entitled, and so they want things for free. Instead of trying to add more value to the industry, you'd rather just take a check from baddies or whatever else, instead of getting into the industry and adding actual value to it, instead of just being lazy. So now you want the man, you're.
This shit is so easy for women, bro, but all y'all think about is selling pussy.
Ex-boyfriend or your ex-baby daddy who has to prove himself every day in the NBA to get money, and because you're jealous of his baby mama, then he should still pay for your situation because there's a kid with you. But in the reality, if you really wanted access to all that money, the question is this.
Okay, they reporting that Brittany Renner wants $35K a month in child support from PJ Washington. Women gonna say, well, he got it. He got $90 million. He got it. So he should spend it. I remember a woman told me a guy was going to jail, in jail, and this woman was cheating on him at his own house.
What is a 4-year-old child gonna do with $35K a month? This is supposed to be for the child.
What else she gonna do? The way women justify things, bro, girl math is undefeated for them, right? But it don't take $35K to raise a Tyler. $5,500 a month is enough. We raising a child. I don't really understand that. Because if you wanted to enjoy the fruits of my labor, you should have stayed under my leadership. When you don't stay under my leadership, you don't get that. $5,500 is more than enough to raise a child. I don't understand that. It's more than enough to raise a child.
So, the brother talks about something that's interesting. He says, a lot of the women out there are saying, well, hey, he should have to pay. You know, it's his baby girl, get all the money you can. And it's like, you know, if you want to use that mentality, fine, but we already know the next dude that you're dealing with isn't spending no money on you. Not like that. No dude is spending $35,000 a month on Brittany Renner. Kevin Gates couldn't even stay with her for more than a year. So that's the real issue here. Like, nobody wants to put up with you. And she is beautiful. She is good looking. But again, this doesn't mean that somebody wants to put up with you. Most people don't want to put up with you if you have too many problems and if you don't have enough to offer. So if you want to stay with a man, then you got to deal with the ups and downs. And clearly you did not want to deal with that. So you didn't deal with it. Somebody else dealt with it. You went on podcasts talking about the man, talking about how he was paying for stuff on OnlyFans. I mean, you were doing all that stuff. You rolled the dice. You got the guy you thought you wanted. It didn't work out. And so now he's with somebody and it is working out. You had the first opportunity on it. You didn't pick the guy. Now you're down bad. Now you're upset. And I know that this is something that you don't like, but a lot of women play their hands. You know, you already have the guy, but you don't respect the guy, okay? For whatever reason. You think the guy, you deserve more, and that could be fair. Maybe you do deserve more. But if you feel that you deserve more, the problem with that is you have to go out there and actually prove that you deserve more. So when you go out there and you prove that you're having a problem getting what you want, then the person that you had at first starts to do better than you. Now you start to be combative, like, how dare he figure out his life without me? Yeah, that's exactly what happens. I'm gonna tell you all the time. Men are just not supposed to be successful without their baby mamas. I'm gonna keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. Once a woman leaves you, there's an unspoken rule out there. You're not supposed to ever do any better. And sometimes men don't. Men cry. Men can come back and beg and hope to, get things how they were. But the real strength of a man is not his ability to get his woman back or family back. It's to accept it for what it is and to move on and to seek greener pastures. And that's called resilience and adversity. And PJ Washington in his young life had to deal with that. The mother of his kid didn't want to be with him, went on podcasts, assassinating his character. He had to figure all of that. He was being trolled by everybody. He was being talked about. He stopped all of that. They went to the NBA Finals 2024. So what did he do? He played well, got an extension. Okay? Proved everybody wrong. Even Brittany Renner. Now, Brittany Renner, you're unstable. You're no longer with Kevin Gates. And how did I forget this? You're no longer in Islam. So now you're back even worse than where you started from. And so now this guy needs to pay for more of your mistakes. And in my actual opinion, he's already paid for so many. But this is what happens when you start winning as a man. He never talked about her. He never insulted her. He never went around getting attention off of her. He just performed. And she should have been, considering performing too. Well, maybe she was with Kevin Gates in the bedroom. Woo! But obviously it wasn't good enough for her to stay there. Woo! So yeah, so now you're down bad. You're bitter. You're dusty. And then now the world is closing in on you. Baddies are not there no more. You're not getting a check. Nobody feels like they need to hire you. You don't have a real place in the entertainment sector. So that's just what it is. Okay. Yeah. It's bad, but that's what happens when you feel like you don't need to be valuable and you live a delusional life. Let me tell you guys something. As long as you're living, your job is to impress people. For him.
I'm glad he moved on.
On YouTube, if my videos are not getting better, if my thumbnails are not getting better, if my strategy isn't getting better, you guys will reward me with no views and I'll be out of the business. Same thing with a woman or a man in a relationship. Your goal is to impress that person for them to stay. If you don't, they will leave. Same thing in business. You impress customers.
I agreed somewhat, not really. Your goal is not really fully to impress somebody. This whole Brittany Renner thing is just the factor that she thought that she could play life, right? We said this in another video about oversharing, but she came and she shared her plans about how to play men and it backfired. You can't lay out your plan and then we're seeing you execute your plan and think that anybody's gonna take you seriously. Feel me?
Yeah.
You fucked up when you came out saying all that. Really? If you wanted to do all this, you just shouldn't have said anything. Bro.
Yeah, that's why I said y'all females gotta focus on y'all skills, bro, because the looks are only gonna get you so far. And especially if you don't have any wife-like qualities to go with it. You're in a deeper hole than I thought.
Yeah, man. Y'all ready to the end of another video, man. Love y'all. Great PR, man. Binge the rest of the videos on the channel. Yeah, I already know. I'll catch y'all in the next one. We out.